KCAC 101.1 FM and AM 1160. In the studio with us this morning, Jack Benedict, accompanied by Mr. Joe Lombardi, head coach of the IUP Crimson Hawks men's basketball team, who has a busy enough schedule but took some time out of it to come visit with us. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And yeah, the Atlantic Regional is right back here at the KCAC. That's pretty darn exciting, isn't it, Jack?
No, no question about it. It really is.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
Yeah, it really is. The PSAC championship last weekend. Coach, that was close enough, wasn't it?
Yeah, we got some good close end game experience. So we hadn't had a lot of that during the course of the year. So, if you look back, it worked out perfect, from as far as that standpoint, because, as you move forward, you're certainly going to have to learn how to play possession by possession and learn how to finish games off in the last 4 minutes. So, and hopefully we can do a little better job than we did, especially me.
Well, Coach, we were in this situation 3 years ago, all set to play Winston-Salem. My names are still in the book, in my scorebook, and we never got to play because of COVID. So here we are back again. And Winston-Salem's kind of like the Cinderella team here, aren't they?
Sure, they worked their way through the tournament. They do have 21 wins, so it's not like, they got in at 500. But they won their tournament, and that's how they qualified. Obviously, we played them earlier in the year. And, Jack, I guess we should all stay really, really grateful that, that we're not having COVID and everything's not shut down, that we get a chance to play. So regardless of how the games work out, it's a blessing to be able to host this tournament, bring it to Indiana, bring a little bit of the spotlight and shine to this great community that we have and the institution, and get to enjoy the little bit of March Madness.
Oh, absolutely. And for the basketball junkies, for $20 to watch 4 games in one day in the beautiful KCAC, there's nothing like that. And
the popcorn's pretty good.
That popcorn's pretty good, and the basketball's pretty good. Let me ask you this, Coach. If you had to compare the PSAC with the play of the CIAA, give me a little idea there, because fans don't see, the players from the CIAA that much.
I think the PSACs might be a little bit more skilled league, a lot more shooters. There's a lot of teams that put 4 shooters on the perimeter, and they all shoot, really well. And, speaking of Cal, speaking of Mercyhurst, okay, the CIAA is a little bit, they seem to be bigger, okay? They seem to be more athletic, and they seem to, play more around the rim or inside the 3-point line. That's the general. That would be the gist. Skill versus size and length, and so we got to do a great job rebounding the ball. That's going to be our biggest challenge. Okay, with their length, they have a big kid that actually played and started some games at North Carolina State. Okay, and they got some really good wing players that like to put the ball on the floor and attack the basket. So we have to make sure we stay in front of people, stay on balance, and not get in foul trouble.
Yeah, I know they only score, I say only, in the 60s, but they don't give up much either. How about defensively? What are we going to see here?
They pretty much play all man. They'll extend the pressure a little bit at times, but that's not really who they are. They're just a good half-court man defensive team.
And they'll be without their point guard. We understand that broke his wrist, I guess it was, a couple of games ago. I don't know how that's your matchups, how that's going to.
We just got to be who we are. It's not like, they don't have a point guard. Let's all of a sudden press for 40 minutes. I mean, that's not stuff that we do well. We're just going to continue to be Jack, who we are, what our identity is, and try to do a great job in half-court defense and really, you just play the people that are out there. They have depth. They have capable guards, very capable guards that are, actually the guy that moves over to the point that plays a lot of point is probably their most gifted scorer. So it's just a little bit of a different team, but still quality.
You've had really good depth this year. We've talked about that before. Dallas has been a starter. Dallas has come off the bench. I know he's had, some injury problem, whatever. Is he better one way or the other? And you always need him defensively because he's tremendous there.
Well, when whether we start Jalen Stewart or we start Dallas, it's not even about it's not like, oh, he's better, so he's starting, or it's kind of they're two different players. One's more of a point guard, one's more of an off guard, off the ball. So, and a lot of it comes down to how does each guy impact the rest of the team, okay, in order to try to get off to a good start. That's fluid. It's not like a promotion or a demotion for anybody. I mean, they're going to pretty much play similar minutes.
Yeah. Todd?
Coach, we, of course, have been in this position before in the last few years with your ball clubs, and it's always interesting to me to sort of get to know the guys through you when you visit with us. What about this group is maybe not different, but really impressive to you about this group of young men for the IUP Crimson Hawks?
Well, they're different now, okay? No, it's the most joyful group I've had. They seem to laugh and have fun, and sometimes, sometimes that bothers me as a coach because I don't think they're as focused, okay? But they've proven me wrong enough times that they can kind of laugh a lot and yet still be locked in. So I think that's a little bit of their identity, okay? They have a real joy of being around each other, okay? It's like every day is a celebration with these guys, okay? So it's a nice thing to see, okay? But as a coach, sometimes you want them this is serious stuff, guys, okay? But I guess it ain't that serious. So they've been a blessing that way to be around.
Yeah, the kind of focus that you get out of this group, say for a typical practice when in the middle of the season, it can really start to drag for guys. Sounds like they embrace what needs to be done.
You know what? Life is all about perspective, and that's a perspective that you have to have too. Okay, these guys started running in August to get ready, and it pretty much was straight through. So we're on our 7th month of boot camp, so to speak. So. As a coach, you tend to forget that. You just want to make the most out of every day, and you want to get better. And sometimes you have to realize that, it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And you kind of got to you need that, that you can't take the joy out of the game for kids. I think a lot of coaches do that. Okay, maybe they want to win so bad they take the joy out, and sometimes it comes naturally, and sometimes I catch myself maybe doing that, and I got to make sure that it stays a joyful experience, because at the end of the day, we're playing college basketball. Okay, all right, and they're all gifted and they're all blessed to be able to do it. God's given them all kind of gifts and not only gifts but gifts and opportunity together, and the moment will not last forever, and before you know, one way or the other, 3 weeks from now, it'll all be done, whether we win or not. But so we have to really grasp, live in the moment, and that's a kind of a message I'm trying to get across to these guys now.
Every year you have to replace somebody. Of course, unfortunately, you're going to lose Dave Morris, you're going to lose Shondell. Do you rely much on the transfer portal? Because some teams are going that route. We haven't seen a whole bunch of that here.
It hasn't really changed, Jack. We've had guys over the year. Matisse Chieda was a really good transfer for us. We've had some guys that were, really impactful along those lines. I mean, we keep every avenue open. Junior college transfer, play, and sometimes it's like, like if you have an older class, you may not want a kid with 1 year. Okay, because seniors have they look at the game a little bit differently sometimes than when they're in a younger class. But it hasn't really impacted the way we look at recruiting. We'll try to fill those spots if we can get a transfer that we think is better than and complements and fits our team. It's just not better. It's what fits our team. As we look forward to what our team would need in the future, it'd be you have to find out certain personalities. Do you need an established scorer? Or do you have established scorers, and you need a guy that's going to come in and complement? Who can do that best? So it's all about trying to define roles ahead of time. We just don't try to get, let's go out and find the 10 best scorers we can get. Okay, we're constantly, we've been fortunate enough to have established players every year coming back, and so it's kind of like, okay, who's going to complement these guys?
We have you have on your team, Mr. I call him playoff MVP. Ethan Porterfield is just amazing the last couple of years, and more amazing this year. than what he's gone through and how he's performed. And, I mean, how much credit you have to give this kid the way he's playing?
Well, I think God's hand is in a lot of things, Jack, and I think he's, I think he's somewhat of a miracle at play here. Okay, it's beyond. It's not natural for him to be able to perform without practice the way he's been playing, and the type of season he had. Not only he never got into great shape because of his throat issues earlier. Okay, and so. Now you don't have a great foundation, and all of a sudden you get set back, and you're able to do that, and it mind boggles me, but it doesn't shock me when you have the faith that God has His hand on everything.
Yeah.
90 seconds left with Coach Joe Lombardi this morning. Coach, I know that you've got a world-class facility in the KCAC, and you've got yourself a darn good basketball team. You'd love to see people come out and fill it up this weekend, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's disappointing that the way the spring break falls. Students are headed out of town today for spring break, and they'll be gone all next. They'll be gone, till next Monday, the following Monday. So, we've been drawing about 600-700 students to games, 600-800 students. Okay, so hopefully we can find other people that'll fill that spot and make some noise and enjoy it and. Indiana's fortunate to have this type of event, okay, that we've been honored with it, okay, and, we just need to take, and we're thankful for the community support that we get. We have great community support, and we hope people can find time and come out and enjoy the weekend with us.
It's going to be a good one. Jack,
Okay.
Coach, thanks so much.
Thanks, Todd. I appreciate you and Jack and everything the radio station does for our program.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1